Have you ever stopped to think if what you believe truly comes from you? Or are you just echoing ready-made phrases, ideas you heard somewhere and never questioned? Maybe you're absolutely right about everything, or maybe you're just convinced that you are. This is exactly where the conversation with Socrates begins, a man who, over 2,000 years ago, became known not for giving answers, but for asking questions. Today, more than ever, we live in the age of opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a voice. Everyone comments, criticizes, shares. But has the ease of speaking made us think less? The dangerous, unconscious ignorance. Socrates believed that most people didn't know what they were saying, and most dangerously, they didn't even know they didn't know. He called this unconscious ignorance. The problem, he said, isn't making mistakes. The problem is being certain of your mistake. How many times have you fiercely defended an idea, and when someone asked, "Why do you think that?" you froze? The answer might have been, "Oh, I've always heard that," or "Everyone thinks that." But who is everyone? Maieutics, the birth of ideas. Socrates' main tool was the question. He believed that if you wanted to find the truth, you'd need to dig, and the only shovel available was dialogue. That's why he walked the streets of Athens, approaching people and asking simple but unsettling questions. A politician would say, "I am just," and Socrates would ask, "But what is justice?" The man would respond with some cliché, and Socrates would continue, "And does this apply in every case? What if it's like this or like that?" In a short time, the politician realized that he couldn't explain what he so confidently claimed. This method became known as Maieutics, the birth of ideas. And the question for you is, were your ideas truly born from you? Or were they implanted without pain, without questioning, like an automatic download? The Bible's warning and Jesus' example. Did you know the Bible also gives the same warning? In Romans 12, Paul writes, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." To conform here means to adopt the world's ideas as your own without thinking. It's when you repeat phrases like, "That's just how life is." "The important thing is to be happy," or "Everyone has their own truth," without noticing the emptiness behind them. Jesus, like Socrates, also used questions. He didn't just say, "I have the truth," but asked, "Who do people say the Son of Man is? Why are you afraid, you of little faith? Do you want to get well?" Questions that forced the person to look in the mirror and not just repeat what others said. Personal opinion in everyday life. Think about the last argument you had with someone. Politics, religion, sports, behavior, any topic. Did you truly believe what you were saying, or were you just trying to win the argument? How many of your opinions were inherited from your family, school, social media, and how many were born from your silent reflection? It's uncomfortable, I know, but Socrates said that the greatest good for the soul is self-knowledge, and that living without thinking was wasting life. He said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." What about you? Have you examined your certainties? We live in the age of information, but perhaps we're losing the art of wisdom. And wisdom begins with the recognition of one's own ignorance. Socrates said, "I know that I know nothing." But this phrase wasn't false humility. It was the beginning of true knowledge, because those who think they know everything stop learning. And this is where you understand the paradox. Those who believe they have their own opinion without reflection are merely trapped in the opinions of others. Freedom of thought requires discipline, questioning, inner silence, and above all, the courage to admit, "I don't know, but I want to know." How to develop your own thinking? Do you really want to think for yourself? Then start with simple steps. Question your certainties. Choose an idea you defend and ask, why? Read those who think differently. Intellectual diversity liberates. Seek silence. Only in silence do you hear what you truly think. Engage in deep conversation. Listening is more important than convincing. Pray. Prayer is a conversation that needs no masks. And remember, truth doesn't shout, it whispers. And almost always, it comes after you've dismantled all the ready-made phrases. Ultimately, we all want to be free, but there is no greater freedom than thinking for yourself, with humility, with faith, and with courage. Socrates already knew this. The Bible confirms it. And your life is asking for it. So the next time you're about to defend an idea, stop and think, is this really mine, or am I just repeating?